banks of the Ohio River. There's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell, and we are underway from Cincinnati.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Gun.
Here's Burrow to throw right away. Got a man open. It's Chase.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
11.
A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he gets it up past the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
11.
Now Burrow on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Miles Jack. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Steeler touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like the thing?
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case, wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Trubisky.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
He's a fan favorite when he plays at home. Every time he makes a big-time play, you can hear him shout, "Move" from the stands. Pittsburgh, they love it. A lot of comparisons to Heath Miller as a rookie, and he contributed 7 touchdown catches. Now he contributes a first down with that grab.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Got an open man. It's Pickens. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
Here we go, here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. Right now.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On third down, Trubisky. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just...
Throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Now
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Trubisky. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Tomlin has reached for that red challenge flag, and he'll throw it out there.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. So Mike Tomlin correct in his assessment to throw the flag there. Now Trubisky on first down. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And his throw is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since.
11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11.
And Burrow going to throw again. And that's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've been off to the races already, a 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again.
And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. 17-0 our score after one. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now it's Trubisky. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. The roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for him because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
11, 11. 11, 11, 11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
These are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick if indeed they end up trying one.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
12, 11 Thomas. 11 MT Paint. 11 MT Paint. 12, 12, 12. 11, 11, 11.
Now Burrow. Here's Higgins, and the ball is knocked out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. There he goes left side. Past the 20. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
But let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
11.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch.
Here we go. Here we go. 11. 11 MT. 12.
Here's Burrow. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
I'm one, right?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete.
Here we go. 11 MT.
Burrow going for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Harris running straight ahead, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Alexander Johnson finding his way behind the line and quickly to the football.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Trubisky will throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. Look at the big man rumble. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown.
Evan McPherson for the extra point.
He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure, because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25, so at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
They hand this off to Harris, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Trubisky. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Now Trubisky to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hill. And the Bengals are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
The Bengals drive about to get going. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Burrow will throw. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On 1st and 10, it's Evans. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
Here we go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Gun. Start. 11. Start.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst. And they'll work this down inside the 30. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Burrow looking to pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in his first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
That's going to go down as a loss of 9 on the 1st down play.
You see that celebration from him after that stop? Those corners don't normally have the chance to get behind the line of scrimmage and hand them big losses. So when he got that opportunity, he certainly made it a memorable one.
Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. 1st down in the red zone.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now it's Burrow. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Boyd. Touchdown! Tyler Boyd, as the 1st half is winding down. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the 1st half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky
setting up the screen. Harris.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. To return is Taylor. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
A tackle that time by Akello Witherspoon.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run out a bunch more plays.
Dancing to his left.
He will find his man Chase complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd.
A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Bengals are back within a score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
Here's Trubisky. And the catch made by Johnson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Trubisky.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Now a give, running left is Harris. Down to about the 37.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go play action with Trubisky.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Trubisky. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TV.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read of what was going on the offensive side of the ball. So let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. Open man here is Gentry. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's got his target, Harris. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Alexander Johnson. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Burrow dropping it off underneath. Here's P. Ryan. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
P. Ryan again on 2nd down. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by a Keller Witherspoon. Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. And now here is another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 33. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, kid won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. Forced out to his left. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. Looking deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. Looking sideline, incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
On the give, this is Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now Trubisky to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Bengals will take over here just shy of the 30. A few things better than a big man. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
11 empty.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here we go, here we go.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Burrow looking to pass. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. He's got Pickens complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be second down. What a big tackle there defensively.
One of the most difficult things for a defender to do. And think about the speed that he brought down. If he gets away, he's likely gone.
Here's Trubisky. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing now is Trubisky. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop the football. They're trained to catch everything.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. This was not just the opener of the brand new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1, and to come forward and start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Bengals, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.